Welcome back to Engineering Mathematics Part 7. Today we will see solution of second order linear differential equations with variable coefficients. For that, we have four methods or four techniques in our syllabus. Let's see. Solution of second order linear differential equation with variable coefficients. Suppose we have a second order differential equation like this: a naught x d2y over dx2 plus a1x dy by dx plus a2xy equal to some function fx. It is an second order linear differential equation provided a naught x is non-zero. And we are claiming that it's a variable coefficient, means a naught, a1 and a2 are function of x. If a naught x is not equal to 0, then we can divide by a naught x both the side. So it will become d2y by dx2 plus a1x over a naught x dy by dx plus a2x over a naught x y equal to some fx over a naught x. Remember, it's a linear because the degree of order term is 1. And call it as some d2y by dx2 plus px dy by dx plus qx into y equal to rx, where px is this value, qx is this value, and rx is this value. So for solution of this type of ODE, we have four methods in our syllabus. First method is variation of parameters. This topic is very important. Variation of parameter. You will get two questions of 10 marks in your exam and two questions of 2 marks in your exam. Second method is reduction of order method. Reduction of order method. Third method is normal form method. And fourth is change of independent variable method. Change of independent variable method. So we have four methods in our syllabus. Today we will try to cover first method, variation of parameters. Let's see first method, variation of parameter. This method is very important, even it's useful for GATE exam also. So I told you a general second order differential equation in this form: d2y by dx2 plus px dy by dx plus qxy is equal to rx. Whenever you are comparing with any differential equation of second order, you have to make in this form. Means coefficient of order terms should be 1. Then only you can compare and find the value of PQR. And its corresponding homogeneous linear differential equation will be d2y by dx2 plus px dy by dx plus qxy equal to 0. Your rx term should be 0 if you are writing homogeneous part. Now for this type of differential equation, I told you in previous lectures, if these coefficients are scalars or constant value, then we can make auxiliary equation and we can find the complementary function. If these are variables and are in the form of Cauchy-Euler or Legendre differential equation, then we can change it in constant coefficient using suitable substitution. X equal to e to the power z or ax plus b equal to e to the power z. Means our aim is to find the solution of homogeneous linear differential equation. If you know the entire homogeneous linear differential equation part solution, or you will say complementary function, then only you can apply the variation of parameter. So this method is applicable whenever applied when CF is known. If your complementary function is known, then only this method is useful. Always remember my point. So let complementary function H, suppose complementary function is C1 UX plus C2 VX. And now your problem is how to find this complementary function. So in many variation of parameter problems, this is given as a constant value. Means in the variable coefficient, the variables are actually constants. So that is a free from x. So it is actually constant coefficient differential equation of second order. And you are solving with the help of variation of parameter method. So you can find the auxiliary equation and your C1, C2 coefficient will become Ux and Vx. Suppose this is not constant coefficient, it's in the form of Cauchy-Euler, then we will convert in constant coefficient and we will find complementary function. So anyhow, we have to find Ux and Vx. In many problems, your complementary function is already given in the problem, then there is no problem. You can just compare and you can find the value of U and V. Now, how to find the particular integral? This is the problem for this method. So I'm not going in the proof of this variation of parameter method. You can see any book and you will see the proof of this method. Let particular integral is AU plus BV. Here U and V are solutions of Li solution of homogeneous linear differential equation 2. This is equation 1. So U and V both are solution and I am using solutions here. Now how to find U and V? A and B, sorry, with the help of U and V. So for that we will go for Wronskian. I told you in my lecture 1, Wronskian is very useful in checking of nature of solutions. If you have two solutions U and V, and if you are going to find the determinant U dash, means the derivative of U and derivative of V, this is equal to UV dash minus U dash V. If you open this determinant and if this determinant is non-zero, then U and V are Li solutions. So we have to confirm first that U and V are Li solutions. So W is actually UV dash minus U dash V. W can be found with the help of U and V, where U and V are the solutions of homogeneous linear differential equations. You can see my lecture 1. Then only you can claim that U and V are Li solutions. So for that now we have to find A and B. The formula for A is minus VR over W dx, and the formula for B is UR over W dx. So W you can find, U and V are known from the homogeneous part. R you can compare and you can find the value of R also. Then complete solution will be CF plus PI. Let's see one example, then you will better understand this method. Example 1. Solve by variation of parameter methods. Variation of parameter method. Differential equation is d2y by dx2 plus y equal to 1 over 1 plus sin x. Let's see the solution. First, we will compare with d2y by dx2 plus p dy by dx. We can compare because the coefficient is 1 here, plus qy is equal to r. So your p is 0, your q is 1, and your r is 1 over 1 plus sin x. Now, corresponding homogeneous linear differential equation is d2y by dx2 plus y equal to 0. Plus y equal to 0, because we have to make r equal to 0. This is the corresponding homogeneous differential equation. And important point is this is a constant coefficient. For the constant coefficient, we can directly write the auxiliary equation. So its auxiliary equation will be m square plus 1 equal to 0. You can write d square plus 1 y outside equal to 0, then put equal to m, and you can write the auxiliary equation. So its root will be m equal to plus minus iota 0 plus minus I, and you can compare with alpha plus minus I beta. So alpha equal to 0, beta equal to 1. So your complementary function is written as, if the roots are alpha plus minus I beta, e to the power alpha x c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x. Now put the value of alpha and beta, it will become c1 cos x plus c2 sin x plus c2 sin x. So this is your actually. Now you will compare this with c1 ux plus c2 vx. You can compare u and v can be changed actually, no problem. Accordingly, your a and b will change. Ux is actually cos x and vx is sin x. No necessary that u is cos. U can be sin and v can be cos also. Accordingly, your a and b will change. Then your particular integral can be written as au plus dv, and you have value of a here. U is a cos x plus b sin x. Now our aim to find the value of a and b. For that we have to find first the Wronskian w. W is u v u dash v dash, means derivative of u and v. It's a cos x, it is sin x. Derivative of cos x is minus sin x. Derivative of sin x is cos x. And if you find the determinant cos square x minus minus plus sin square x, so it is 1 not equal to 0. It means u and v are li. And the value of w is 1. Then the formula of a is given as minus vr over w dx. So minus v is actually sin x, r was 1 over 1 plus sin x, and w is 1, so no problem. So we have to integrate this term. Minus sin x over 1 plus cos x. So what is the way to integrate it? Very easy. We can just add 1 or subtract 1, or you can multiply with the conjugate. So 1 minus sin x conjugate, that denominator will be 1 plus sin x, 1 minus sin x. So 1 minus sin square x, that is cos square x dx. Now you separate it, you will get minus sin x over cos square x dx minus sin square x over cos square x dx. So it is actually sec x into tan x dx, and take minus sign inside, then it will become plus, and it will tan square x. Tan square x can be written as sec square x minus 1 dx, because we don't know the integration of tan square x, but we know the integration of sec square x. Now integration of tan x into sec x is sec x. Integration of sec square x is tan x, and integration of 1 is x. And don't add any constant in particular integral. I told you in lecture 2, 3, 4. So your a will be actually here tan x minus sec x minus x. So if check calculation carefully, I think this calculation is correct now. So this is your a. Now we will find b. B is actually u r over w dx. So u is cos x, r is 1 over 1 plus sin x, w is 1, no problem. Now it's a very easy integration, because if you suppose 1 plus sin x equal to t, then its derivative is present in the numerator. So cos x dx equal to dt. So it will become 1 over t dt, and integration is log mod t, and never add constant in particular integral, put the value of t, so 1 plus sin x. So this is your b. So your particular integral will be now au plus bv. A was actually tan x minus sec x minus x. U was, I think u was actually cos x, plus b is actually here log 1 plus sin x, and v is actually sin x. So this is your pi. So complete solution will be CF plus pi. Add CF and pi, then only you will get the complete solution. Let's see the next example 2, using the variation of parameter. solve y variation of parameter. In exam, you will get this type of statement. Solve by variation of parameter. Means you have to apply this method only. The problem is x square d2y by dx2 plus 3x dy by dx minus 3y equal to 1 over x cube and x is greater than 0. Then only you can solve, I think, because you are aware that this is a very famous differential equation. It's a Cauchy-Euler differential equation. Order and degree in x is same, order and degree in x is same, and x square d2y by dx2 plus 3x dy by dx. This is the Cauchy-Euler differential equation, and we can solve Cauchy-Euler differential equation by suitable substitution, and we can convert it in constant coefficient. So firstly, we are going to solve homogeneous part. So corresponding homogeneous linear differential equation is x square d2y by dx2 plus 3x dy by dx minus 3y equal to 0. We will make this term as 0. Now this is a Cauchy-Euler. We will replace x equal to e to the power z. That's why x is greater than 0, because exponential is always greater than 0. Then your z will be log x. And I told you then your x is going to be d1. X square d square is going to be d1 minus 1, where d is nothing else d by dx and d1 is d by dz. Change it, you will get this equation is now in the form of x square d1 minus 1 plus 3d1 minus 3 y equal to 0. So it will become d1 square plus 2d1 minus 3y equal to 0. So your auxiliary equation is m square plus 2m minus 3 equal to 0. So the value of m are 1 and minus 3. You can check it. So your complementary function will be c1 e to the power 1 z, because independent variable is z now, e to the power minus 3z. Or you can write c1 x plus c2 1 over x cube, because x equal to e to the power z. So e to the power minus 3z you can write like this way, e to the power z to the power minus 3. So it will become x to the power minus 3 or 1 upon x cube. Now if you compare cf c1x plus c2 into 1 upon x cube, if you compare with c1 ux plus c2 vx, your ux is equal to x and your vx is 1 over x cube. Okay, so for particular integral now we will go, because the value of r is very important. So see differential equation again see the differential equation. It is x square d2y by dx2 plus 3x dy by dx minus 3y equal to 1 upon x cube. Pupil write the value of r is 1 over x cube. That is wrong. That is wrong, because for finding the value of r, you have to make the coefficient of d2y by dx2 1. So for making the coefficient of d2y by dx2 1, we have to divide by x square both the side. So your d2y by dx2 plus 3 over x dy by dx minus 3 over x square y equal to 1 upon x to the power 5. Now your px is 3 by x, qx is minus 3 by x square, and your rx is 1 over x to the power 5. Don't be confused. Rx is always find when the coefficient of d2y by dx2 is 1. Don't be confused and never did this type of mistake. So we will try to find the Wronskian now. Wronskian is u dash v dash. U is x, v is 1 over x cube. Derivative x is 1. Derivative of x is 1. And derivative of 1 upon x cube is minus 3 over x to the power 4. So if you expand this determinant, you will get minus 3 over x cube minus 1 over x cube. So it is minus 4 over x cube. And it is not equal to 0 because x is greater than 0. It is given in the question. Okay, now we will write the particular integral. So let particular integral is equal to au plus dv. U is your x and b is 1 over x cube. So we will find a now. The formula for a is minus br over w dx. V is 1 over x cube. R is 1 over x to the power 5. Okay. R is 1 over x to the power 5. And W is minus 4 over x to the power 3 dx. Minus is cancelled out. X cube is cancelled out. So 1 over 4 is outside. Integration of x to the power minus 5 dx. So you will get minus 1 over 16 x to the power 4. This is your A. And what about B? B is UR over W dx. U is x. R is 1 over x to the power 5 and W is minus 4 over x to the power 3 dx. So it will become minus 1 by 4 x to the power 4, 1 x is cancelled, 1 over x dx. So it is minus 1 by 4 log mod x. So this is your B. Now you can put the value of A and B here and you will get the PI. Complete solution will be CF plus PI. Don't forget to write complete solution. It is equal to CF plus PI. Okay, next method for solution of second order ODE with variable coefficient is reduction of order method, or whenever one part of CF is known. In this method, you will see that one part of CF is given. And in second order ODE, you have two part in complementary function and like U and V, and both part are solution of homogeneous linear differential equation and both part are linearly independent to each other. So suppose a second order PDE is in this form. Suppose a second order linear differential equation with variable coefficient in the form d2y by dx2 plus px dy by dx plus qxy equal to rx. This is equation number 1. And its corresponding homogeneous linear differential equation is d2y by dx2 plus px dy by dx plus qxy equal to 0. And we are claiming that we know one part of CF is this. CF of this. One part is known. This part, equation 2 has two parts in the complementary function and one part we know. So let's see how many cases are, what are the some useful and easy cases when one part of CF we know. Let's see case 1. Let one part of complementary function is, suppose a complementary function is written in this form, C1y1 plus C2y2. I'm not writing U and V because U and V I have fixed notation for variation of parameter method. So don't be confused with U and V. U and V notation already fixed for variation of parameter. Here I am using y1 and y2. Y1 and y2 are two parts of complementary functions. And first part or one part y1 we know, and we know this is an exponential function. Suppose y1 is in the form of e to the power ax. If y1 and y2 both are solution, y1 and y2 are Li solution of equation 2. So it will satisfy equation 2. Okay. It will satisfy. It means y1 equal to e to the power x will satisfy equation 2. So satisfy the equation d2y1 by dx2 because y1 is a solution plus px dy1 by dx plus qy1 equal to 0. This is the solution for homogeneous part only. Now put the value of y1 here. Y1, second derivative of y1. Can you tell me the y1 equal to e to the power ax? Then your dy1 by dx will be a into e to the power ax. And your d2y1 by dx2 will be a square e to the power ax. Put these values here. A square e to the power ax plus px into a e to the power ax plus qx into e to the power ax equal to 0. Now I'm using t in the place of tx and q in the place of qx. It is understood now that pq and r are function of x. It is understood. E to the power x we can take common. So we can write a square plus pa plus q equal to 0, where p and q are function of x. And we know that exponential never 0. Exponential function is never 0, but the product of these two values, equation is these two factors is 0 and one factor is non-zero. It means second factor will be 0. So a square plus pa plus q will be always 0. A square plus pa plus q will be always 0. So this is the condition when one part of CF is e to the power ax, then p and q satisfy this relation, this important relation. Let's see some cases or some values for some values of a. Let's see some remarks. First, if a equal to 1, then its relation will convert as 1 plus p plus q equal to 0, because a equal to 1. Then what will be the first part of CF? Y1 equal to e to the power 1x, because we have put a equal to 1. So this will be the first part of CF. Second, if a equal to minus 1, then 1 plus 1 minus p plus q equal to 0. Then if you put a equal to minus 1, then y1 equal to e to the power minus 1x is the one part of CF. One part of CF. And third, if a equal to 2, then 4 plus 2p plus q equal to 0, and it will imply, actually not then, it will implies that y1 equal to e to the power 2x is one part of CF. So these are some remarks. Let's see the case 2. Let one part of CF is y1 equal to x to the power m. Now I'm taking the polynomial form. In the polynomial form, first form I have taken exponential. Suppose it is in form of exponential, not in a polynomial function. Then it will satisfy d2y1 by dx2 plus px dy1 by dx plus qx y1 equal to 0. If you have y1 equal to x to the power m, then dy1 by dx will be m into x to the power m minus 1, and d2y1 by dx2 will be m minus 1 x to the power m minus 2. Substitute these values. m minus 1 x to the power m minus 2 plus p I'm using for px actually here, m into x to the power m minus 1 plus q into x to the power m equal to 0. X to the power m minus 2 we can take outside, then it will become m minus 1 plus p mx plus qx square. And we are taking here x is not equal to 0. It means this function is not 0. Therefore, this factor m minus 1 plus pmx plus qx square equal to 0. So if your first part is in the form of x to the power m, then p and q satisfy this relation. Let's see some remarks. First, if m equal to 1, then your relation will be converted as px plus qx square equal to 0. m equal to 1, then first term will be 0, and we can take x outside, then p plus qx equal to 0, and x is not equal to 0, so p plus qx equal to 0. This is the relation when m equal to 1, and it will implies that first part of CF is x to the power 1. If second remark, m equal to 2, then you can make a relation. If m equal to 2, this is 2 minus 1 1 plus m equal to 2, then 2px plus qx square equal to 0, and it will implies that y1 equal to x square is one part of CF. So there are only two possibilities is discussed in your syllabus, exponential and polynomial function. Okay, let's see one example. We are going to discuss here one part of CF. Can you find? Let's see. You can check in a homework as a homework. Find one part of CF for the following problems. First problem is x d2y by dx2 minus 2x minus 1 dy by dx plus x minus 1 y equal to 0. Okay, try this problem. Okay, let's see. I'm going to solve for you. Divide by x both the side because the coefficient of order terms should be 1, minus 2x minus 1 over x dy by dx plus x minus 1 by x y equal to 0. Compare. Your p is minus 2x minus 1 by x and your q is equal to x minus 1 by x. Simplify p, you will get this is minus 2 plus 1 by x and q is 1 minus 1 by x. You can see plus 1 by x minus 1 by x. It means we have to add p and q. Then you will get this factor is cancelled out. So if you add p plus q, you will get this is equal to minus 1. Or 1 plus p plus q equal to 0. If 1 plus p plus q is 0, then I told you your one part of CF is e to the power 1x. So this will imply that first part of CF is e to the power 1x. Now the problem is how to find second part of CF. This is the most important problem. For finding this part, we will use the method that is called reduction of order method. For this method, we will see in next part. Till then, you can solve the problems of variation of parameter. Okay, thank you.